So I happened to be there in Israel too.
And so I was on a pilgrimage with my mom in Israel, and I turned around and I saw someone who looked super familiar.
Y'all, this Erika Kirk Israeli honeypot story just got way more sinister.
Does anyone else think this is Erika Kirk putting in fake tears into her eyes?
Let everyone see what true evil is. This is something that could impact a generation and generations to come.
It appears that when Charlie married Erika, he had no idea what type of tale he was into. He genuinely believed that it was fate. It used to be that kind of lovely, ideal love story. But now it's evolving into a political thriller.
Do you believe that job interview turned date turned marriage was a coincidence? Well, in Erika Kirk's own words, nothing is a coincidence.
But nothing is by coincidence.
1 o'clock online. Users are speculating that Erika may not have come into his life by accident. There are a lot of wild rumors. His say she was placed in close proximity to him in order to influence him, enhance his reputation, or perhaps even subtly influence his decisions. The honeypot idea, which is currently gaining traction on social media, suggests that
every time Erika got involved in a turning point event, something felt off. People got pulled from their posts for no clear reason, replaced with names nobody recognized. They weren't loud about it. They just appeared. They'd hover, take notes, make little adjustments. It wasn't like they were running things outright, more like they were watching, testing reactions. And they did strange things, subtle stuff, asking for background checks on volunteers.
That Erika may have had close ties to important supporters of. Keep in mind that only months before to his death, Charlie himself had been at odds with those same prominent donors. According to insiders, he'd become irritated because the pressure and manipulation going on behind the scenes were becoming intolerable. This is the section that sparked a lot of conversation. The chronology, the abrupt transition from a purported job interview to dating and finally marriage. Interview.2:47306. Some people think it's too convenient and too slick. Was everything real, or was it staged to achieve more ambitious objectives? Nothing happens by coincidence. Even Erika once stated on a podcast, fans are reconsidering everything.
Charlie would try to intervene and she'd just talk over him, like he didn't even matter anymore. And then, just days after he died, they announced her as the new CEO, like she was some kind of savior stepping in during a tragedy. That didn't sit right with anyone who'd been there.
Everything only based on one comment. And then there's the most startling leak to date. Somehow, a series of intimate family messages ended up online. Charlie allegedly said to his sister in one of them, "I don't even feel like I know her anymore." Interview 331-349, everyone is shaken by that one line. People are constantly analyzing it, speculating about what he saw, what he meant.
The way you are treating me is so repulsive. I have text messages, Megan, calling me an anti-Semite. My moral character is now being put into question, Megan. Not my decisions. Not like, hey, are you doing this? Is it smart or is it dumb? But no, I am a bad person.
And what actually transpired behind closed doors? Whatever it was, people are unable to turn away from this tale because it keeps becoming dirtier. It seems that Charlie had been telling those close to him how dramatically Erika had changed in the last year. And not in little ways either. According to reports, he believed that the lady he married had begun to change into someone quite different. Interview.417502 friends.
So we get to Bill's Burgers, and I'm there thinking it's a business interview.
It started that way.
Right. So we sit down, and you grill me for, 3 hours?
Yeah.
Easily. On philosophy, politics,
Culture.
Religion, culture.
Economics.
What else? Everything else you can imagine, he grilled me. Anything he talks about on his podcast show, he grilled me on. Pretty much.
Just didn't record it.
And then afterwards, he got finished with his burger, and he just sat there, and he looked at me. And he's like, "You know what? I'm not going to hire you." I was like, "That's fine. I don't need this job." doing plenty of other things here in Manhattan. Who's like, I'm going to date you.
Claimed that he was irritated because Erika had started acting as though she were in charge of TPUSA herself, assuming leadership roles, making important decisions, and calling shots without ever consulting him. This is the point at which the situation becomes even more dubious. Erika's actions in the months prior to Charlie's death had everyone talking. According to a former TPUSA insider who worked directly under the leadership team, they said it felt like she was gradually positioning herself to take over his authority within the business, which they regarded as quite weird. Things apparently changed in subtle, frightening ways each time Erika attended a TPUSA event.
Is getting involved with the government, so Homeland Security and Department of Defense. And so she had other business partners that were out here that were already in that industry, even one that was a mentor of hers. So it was really convenient to be able to come all together in one place to really have that.
Staff changes took place. Suddenly, familiar faces vanished and were replaced by strangers. Employees felt apprehensive since there were no explanations or announcements, just silent swaps. According to reports, several of these newcomers remained in the background, rarely participating, rather observing, taking notes, and making minor but discernible changes to the way things operated. Inside, people started muttering that something more significant was happening. That this was about more than only Charlie and Erika's union, but about authority over his influence and legacy. It was impossible to ignore the odd pattern. It's amazing how casual everything appeared at the time. It seems as though it was intended to remain undetected until it was too late. Not everyone was ever sold on Erika, according to rumors circulating among those close to the Kirk family. With the Romanian Angels Project, we wanted to show these kids what it means to be an American during the holiday season. And there's no better way to accomplish that than having members of the U.S. military, particularly Charlie's mother Mary, personally deliver the present from the outset, according to sources. Mary never truly connected with Erika and even confided in friends that there was something off about her vibe. According to reports, she believed that the entire relationship from the initial chance encounter to the hurried wedding may have been covertly orchestrated by powerful and wealthy individuals. These same individuals claim that Mary sensed that certain influential people were concerned that Charlie would begin to speak to freely or venture outside of their comfort zone. What's frightening is that shortly before he died, that's precisely what he did. He began challenging choices and criticizing the pressure he experienced from contributors. He was no longer merely being polite. Some claim that's when the true tension began. When you put everything together, it presents an odd image. On the one hand, Charlie is publicly criticizing TPUSA's high-ranking funders, claiming he was being duped and cornered. Erika, on the other hand, is already moving people and acting as though she had assumed control. Surrounding and using initiative in ways that astounded others. According to reports, employees thought she was taking on the role of the organization's new face directly in front of everyone. The theories on the internet get heated at that point. The assertion that Erika may have been inserted into Charlie's life in order to exert influence and possibly even report back to superiors. It's referred to as a strategic connection by some. Some simply refer to it as suspicious timing. However, as many have noted, the couple's initial meeting remains the biggest red sign. The narrative is not entirely coherent up, and that's what's sustaining the mystery. The official account states that Charlie and Erika's journey started at a dinner in New York City in 2018, a meeting that was openly referred to as Erika's potential job interview with TPUSA. It seems harmless enough, doesn't it? However, the more people investigate, the more details don't appear to add up. This is the twist that has everyone on the edge of their seats. Later, Erika revealed that she had seen Charlie once prior to that meal entirely by coincidence. She claimed that while she and her mother were traveling spiritually, it occurred at an airport. She allegedly had no idea who he was at the time. However, a purported mutual friend abruptly intervened and introduced them when she got home. Their tale really took off at that point. This is where things start to sound like they belong in a political drama, if the increasingly popular hypothesis on the internet is correct. Then influential contributors behind Diff Charlie's rise wanted someone to help him stay on course. Why would they pick Erika out of everyone? Why was she the ideal candidate for this kind of role? Some say it's because she was well-connected, charismatic, and had a cool, collected manner of speaking that made her seem reliable. Others believe it's just because she was adept at blending in and making others feel comfortable while subtly accumulating power, regardless of whether any of that is accurate. One thinks their initial encounter seems a bit too dramatic to be the result of sheer chance. This is where things start to get really interesting, so let's take a step back and examine Erika's family history. Mary, Charlie's sister, never trusted Erika from the beginning, according to a number of persons familiar with the matter. And a lot of that was related to what she learned about Erika's parents. New evidence that has recently come to light on the internet presents an image that is causing even more concern. It appears that Erika's parents have a long history of ties to intelligence and the military circles. Nor are they merely rumors. Erika herself discussed her mother's work in previous interviews and public records. She once stated that her mother moved to Arizona due to a business opportunity directly related to her position at DHS. The Department of Homeland Security is that. Erika explained that her mother wanted to be nearer to defense-related enterprises and federal contracts. It sounds like serious stuff, doesn't it? Here's the problem, though. Erika has always presented her mother as a strong, self-reliant woman who managed everything on her own, framing her family tale as though she did it all alone. In the meantime, she claimed that her father, Kent, wasn't actually involved and seldom ever acknowledged him. At that point, people begin to wonder, was that really true? Which leads to speculation. According to other reports, Kent's name has subtly surfaced in previous corporate documents and defense-related endeavors that were previously unnoticed. Some believe he may have purposefully maintained a low profile. Additionally, if that's the instance, it would indicate that both parents had much stronger ties to federal operations than Erika ever disclosed. That was the biggest warning sign for Mary. According to what she reportedly told friends, everything about Erika's past seemed too polished and protected. And the more you look into it, the more difficult it is to disagree with her intuition. Here's the problem, though. The narrative of a single mother taking care of everything doesn't appear to reflect reality at all. Leaked corporate documents and public records present an entirely different picture. It comes out that Lori, Erika's mother, was a co-founder of a Z-Tech International, a significant defense and technology corporation. Guess who was identified as the director of program? Research Ken, her father. Yes, both parents were actively involved from the start. Following the founding of Aztec, Lori allegedly grew the business even more by establishing a distinct division known as GTK Industries, a private security company that works closely with major government organizations like the Department of Defense and the Department of the National Security Agency. They were also allegedly connected to a number of intelligence initiatives. It's more than a little family enterprise. That's serious contracts and high-level access. Now, when you bring up Erika's personal initiatives, the situation becomes even more complex. Do you recall the nonprofit she used to advocate for? She identified Romanian Angels as a nonprofit organization that aids children abroad, purportedly working in tandem with U.S. military operations to deliver aid and security. It all sounded heartwarming and innocent on paper, didn't it? However, recent online talk presents a different image. It appears that the nonprofit's primary operations were located close to a military zone in Romania, which has reportedly been coping with unsettling problems like missing children and unstable communities. To be clear, there is no concrete evidence linking Erika or her company to any unlawful activity. However, people are chatting non-stop about the coincidence. The structure appears to be too well positioned to be merely humanitarian, according to online critics. Proponents contend that it was merely a component of outreach initiatives in a challenging area. In any case, the connection between that nonprofit's location and her family's defense connections has made the entire issue appear far murkier than anyone anticipated. This is the point at which suspicions start to grow, because Lori, Erika's mother, abruptly started attempting to fully disassociate herself from the Romanian Angels Foundation after all that publicity. She used to proudly tell people that she helped start it. So that's strange. She even spoke passionately about the organization's objective and the impact they claimed to be making abroad while narrating the official promotional video. If you were merely a bystander, you wouldn't do that. Lori was originally very involved, according to people who kept a close eye on the project. She participated in travels that were officially presented as humanitarian outreach, as well as meetings and fundraisers. Then nearly her name vanished from the nonprofit's website and brochures overnight, quietly deleted, with no public comment or explanation. Many others questioned why she would remove herself from something she was previously so proud of after that abrupt change. Erika now claims that the chance encounter she had with Charlie at the airport occurred when she and her mother were on a spiritual pilgrimage. The narrative begins to sound a bit too tidy. If Lori continued to have contracts and foreign initiatives at Kudat Journey have served a completely different function at the time, was it really about contemplation and faith? Or might there have been some sort of behind-the-scenes professional relationship? And no one is certain. However, one thing is evident. The pieces don't fit together as cleanly as Erika's rendition implies. Perhaps there was more going on behind the scenes of the alleged trek. Maybe even something tangentially related to Lori's continuous defense or intelligence-related tasks. Speaking of coincidences, there is one particular detail that has folks in full disbelief. In reality, Erika was employed by Donald Trump while she was Miss Evas. Even if Charlie's father is said to have contributed to some of the Trump Tower's design in the past. That kind of overlap is difficult to overlook, isn't it? The tale of Charlie and Erika's accidental meeting begins to seem much less like random fate when you consider all these connections. From government contracts to pageant ties to business relationships, like a well-positioned puzzle. Is it really that easy? Or was there a covert operation going on behind the scenes that linked all these influential networks? And after Charlie's unexpected death, many were even more perplexed by Erika's actions in public. She was often grinning for the cameras, giving hugs to friends, and exhibiting unusually positive behavior at memorial gatherings, which both admirers and detractors found perplexing and unnerving. To further complicate matters, the primary Charlie's home state of Illinois did not even host a memorial service. It happened in Arizona, where Erika's family had strong professional ties. Tension increased when rumors circulated that Charlie's parents and sister chose to remain silent during the Arizona memorial and did not show up at all. Then there was the unsubstantiated internet allegation that political figure J.D. Vance may have had a hand in discreetly organizing Charlie's body's transportation prior to a thorough medical examination. However, none of that has been verified. It sparked countless rumors, and it's keeping this whole mystery alive. This whole arrangement just doesn't feel right for some reason. It seems as though there is a missing component that no one is presenting to us. All of the information that has been revealed thus far seems to be a part of a much larger narrative. Additionally, it just doesn't match the official version. The timelines don't match. The claims are not consistent. Additionally, it appears that everyone is speaking just enough to defend themselves rather than providing meaningful responses. There is obviously more to this than meets the eye. From the peculiar family links to the dubious business connections to the way everything altered just before Charlie passed away. And now that former colleagues are remaining silent, insiders are leaking texts, and the public is calling for transparency. It seems like we're only starting to learn what's actually happening behind the scenes. Some believe that everything is merely coincidental. Some believe it's a web of power and influence that's finally falling apart in front of us. In any case, the truth always finds a hilarious way to surface, and everyone watching this story unfold will likely be shocked when it does. But for the time being, We'll continue to investigate and make connections, since there's little doubt that this narrative isn't finished yet. Don't forget to share your opinions in the comments section below. Let's discuss it. We have more stories, receipts, and in-depth analyses coming up. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Subscribe and share.